forget to click that button and subscribe to my mom's channel.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to, I don't know what episode this is. All I know is this is the norm now. We record these videos every Monday and we post them. So welcome. Welcome to my podcast, Shae Chronicles. If you follow me on my blog, you know what's up. If this is your first time to the podcast, hey, welcome. I'm happy you're here. I'm just going to jump right into it because right now, the podcast is, I don't really know what the focus topic is. Whatever I choose to get up on here and speak about is what we talk about. And today, I think I have something amazing. I want to dedicate this week's podcast to anybody, everybody who is feeling discouraged, who is at a roadblock in their life and feel as they just need some type of inspiration or maybe just a pep talk. I'm going to give you that today because I am learning how to give them to myself, because I also know that it's important to my success that I don't bank on anyone else providing me something that's a necessity. And a necessity is a confidence boost, motivation. Like, yes, we can get those things from other people, but we can't bank on them. We really need to learn how to feed ourselves. So I have a whole entire story about that I'm going to share with you guys today. Be encouraged. Please understand that life is not meant to be perfect. It is absolutely meant to give you hurdles, challenges, tests, to see where you at, to make sure that you're growing and you're able to overcome. That is very important to your personal success. I'm going to have to say, moving forward, every single podcast that I post is definitely going to contribute to personal development. I am learning that it's where I'm at right now. So just roll with me. Roll with me. So I have a few things I want to share with you guys. One, last week I spoke about 50's book, finished it, bomb, killed it. But I want to tell you why I picked up that book in a moment of desperation. And I want to tell you guys about that story. I want to share it with you guys. And then I want to discuss my book I just released. Listen, God is good. And it's important that I share this testimony with you guys because I've been sharing my entire journey about my mother's home. And now that I'm here, the last few episodes I discussed, I'm here for a reason, right? God has brought me to this place now, this new door that has opened. It's not meant for you to get comfortable. And I understand that. So I'm challenging myself to make sure that I'm paying attention and I'm constantly moving forward. Very important to my growth. I'm worthy of all things, okay? So I want to start off by saying I'm thankful, I'm grateful for being consistent. I feel more comfortable in front of this camera. I feel very much motivated to continue to get on here and inspire. Every day of my life, the people that I surround myself with, I am known for being the hype girl. I love my friends. I love my family. And I love being that person to be like, you got this. You can do this. Let's go. Get it together. I'm that girl. And I love being that girl. But I found that I never had that for myself. Now, don't get me wrong. My friends always encouraged me. But my personality, I have a very strong personality. And I don't receive a lot of information that is given to me. I am stubborn when it comes to that. I have to speak to myself in a way that I believe it. I have to receive it for me to run with it. And I'm a Pisces chick. When we are believing into something or believe in something, we are completely sowing that seed. We are going to water it every day. We're going to check on it. We're going to nurture it because we believe in it. We're very passionate people. So it takes a lot to get me there sometimes. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I know that about myself. So on my whole entire personal journey, I've learned that this is one of the most important things that I definitely need to invest a lot of my time in, and I need to make sure that I stay committed to it, which is speaking life into myself and encouraging myself, pushing myself to keep moving forward. So the month of February was a lot going on. One, I was in my feelings. I was all in my feelings. I had moved into this new house. You know, everything's been going good. But, you know, of course, it's like the love month. Everyone wants to put that out there. I'm single. That's a little frustrating sometimes. I mean, I'm a woman. I'm a human being. You know, we all want to be loved on. And, you know, I think this year for the first time, I was just kind of like, damn, I'm lonely. Like, I was a little lonely. I also, you know, with my birthday coming up, well, it just passed, but my birthday's in February. My son's birthday's in February. It was just a lot for me. But I was feeling a way that was making me uneasy. I think it was around the second week or maybe even the first week of February. I began to feel feelings of anxiety again. I started feeling like I'm not even doing enough. I'm not inspired. And that's when I picked up the book by 50 Cent. Just like I said on the last post, the book inspired me so much that I was just like, you know what? It's time to make some moves. I can't sit and have this pity party. I need to find a way to encourage myself. So I believe it was actually the day before my birthday. My cousin and I were sitting at my dining room table. This is what we always do. When the girls come over, we are at that dining room table with our laptops and we are like trying to make it happen for ourselves. We are fully investing ourselves in our future. We're all business owners. We are aspiring entrepreneurs. We are really out here trying to get it for the first time, you know. On a side note, I didn't grow up in a home where entrepreneurship was even advocated for. It was more like when you finish high school, you go get a job. You take care of your family, you pay your bills, and that's life. You know, it was never encouraged to try to go out and get what you desire. I remember sometimes it was just kind of like, oh, you want to be an actress? Okay, yeah, because you do got a lot of personality, but girl, that ain't gonna pay your bills. It was never encouraged. So now that I'm in this place of speaking life and really believing that everything I speak is of existence, I'm all in. I'm full in. So when we're sitting at this table, we're having this discussion and we're both feeling discouraged. I'm like, damn, now that I moved into this house, I started the podcast. I'm still writing my blog, but I'm really not getting much income coming in. You know, I have my side gigs. I do consultations on the side where I have so much experience in corporate, you guys, and I've been helping people build their businesses. My strengths are conception to, you know, putting it out on the shelves. I know how to bring something to life very well. I've been doing it for years. So I've been making, you know, some cool money on the side, helping people launch their products. But now I'm just like, okay, Denise, what else do you want to do? I've always wanted to write a book. Now, mind you, I have been writing for many years. I have so many things on my hard drive. I mean, I have several books on this computer, but I was not inspired enough to feel like releasing them. I did not have the confidence to release it. So I'm sitting at the dining room table and I'm just trying to find a way to encourage myself. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do what 50 said. I'm going to challenge myself to, you know, push the envelope. And just like that, I said, I'm going to write a book. This was on a Monday, and I said, it will be released on Friday. And my cousin was like, what? A book? And I'm like, well, it doesn't have to be this whole drawn out chapter book, but I want to make a book or write a book that inspires people to keep going, because we all have these moments of discouragement, that discernment that makes you feel like something ain't all the way right. And discernment is great because it is a good tool to use when you need to reevaluate a situation. And for me, I felt in that moment, I needed to pump some more confidence into me. I knew that I am a great writer. I know that about myself. I'm a very great writer. I know how to use my words to draw a picture for you. I know how to do that. So can I use my words to encourage you enough to move on something? I challenged myself 1 week. Now, when I started jotting down ideas of what I wanted this book to entail, one of the most important things was I wanted to push and advocate for self-love. I think it's so important that you be your biggest cheerleader. We always, 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 always are banking on other people to build us and uplift us. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do need you to understand that should not be your primary source of confidence. That should not be your primary source, or otherwise you're going to always be disappointed because people have their own problems. Sometimes they need to be feeding into themselves. Sometimes people can be envious or jealous of your situation and be feeding the wrong things into you. You need to be able to speak these things into yourself. You need to be able to trust yourself enough that whatever you say you want to do, you're going to do it, and is of your desires of your heart. Sometimes I think we are all guilty of it, where we see someone else doing something and we're instantly like, I can do that too. Now, I find those type of reactions, depending on the situation, to be more of the flesh. It's like a envy. I don't want to say jealousy, but it could be jealousy, because you see what someone else is doing and you feel the need to, nope. That's not how it works. You need to find the desires of your heart and find what works for you. You might not be a fashion designer. You might be an interior designer. There's just different things, and you really need to know yourself enough to be able to inspire yourself and speak life into yourself to be able to bring these things to life. So when I decided to do it, the first thing was self-love. I want to write something that lets someone know you're worthy enough to do whatever you want, whatever you desire. You can have it all as long as it's your desire to do it. So the book I wrote in a week is a self-help tool. It's not a long book, but it's something that you can go back and constantly read when you're having those moments. And each day as I wrote, I think it has a total of 8 topics. Each topic took me about a day and a half to really delve in there and give you everything I had, because I really felt like I didn't want to half-ass this. I knew it was only a week, but I knew the importance of my words if I really wanted to make an impact. So the challenge alone was enough to pump me up to say, okay, and I'm going to stick to this because it's for me. Why would I not follow through on something that's for me? I am important. I am capable. It's, this is going to make me happy. This is inspiring for me. I can do this. I had to tell myself this. This was going to help me boost my confidence and also regain that trust that I lost for a minute. Like, I was losing momentum, guys. And I just kept telling myself, okay, Denise, okay, you did that. What's next? It was like I just felt ill. I didn't know what else to do. I was waiting for someone else to tell me what to do. And I don't want to do that anymore. So as I started to write, I started to think about, why would I feel a roadblock? What are things that are causing me to feel the desire to want to just lay in my bed and, I don't know, let it figure itself out? And then I realized, okay, the chapter I just closed was a lot. And I never had time to really process that. And I think that was starting to give me a little bit of anxiety. For those of you that don't know, I wrote about it in my blog, so please check it out on ShaeChronicles.com just to get a little bit more history of where I'm coming from. I lost my mom in 2016. I lived in her house a year before she died, and I stayed there up until recently. A lot of people saw me living in my mom's house as like, dang, that's such a benefit. Your mom left you guys a house. You get to stay in it. I mean, everybody wants a house. But I think what people didn't understand was I went through a lot of pain in that house. And my staying in it, I didn't care about being in a house. My staying in it was to try to make sure that her memory lived on. I was strictly staying in that house to hold on to her memory. my kids, my brothers, we all felt attachment there in some kind of way because that was the last thing we had left of our mother. So moving out for me, I was excited to move out, but now that I'm here, it was like I didn't have that, I had nothing to hold on to anymore. You know, God had released that from me, and walking away from it, I was kind of feeling a little agitated. I'm walking away from my mom's memory. Oh my God, I'm a disgrace. But no, not at all. You know, my mom's house, and I talk about this in the book, my mom's house was her desires of her heart. She worked really hard, and that's what she wanted for herself. And I spent a lot of time in my life always trying to make sure that I abided by the desires of her heart. I spent a lot of time focusing on what would make my mother happy. And I know that's not what my mom would have wanted for me. So moving into this house, I realized in writing this book, this was a release. I needed to completely let it go. I needed to complete my grieving process. I was ready. I'm ready. Because now I'm using it as a crutch to not move forward. And when God revealed that to me, it was a really big deal because I realized that the book became more of a love letter to my mom and to myself. It was a close of a chapter completely. Moving out of her house, I was like, yep, I'm done. Wiping my hands clean with it, but my heart was still there. My heart was still yearning for that, I don't know, the acceptance, or if it was just making sure that I wasn't disappointing, or just making sure that I was still satisfying everyone else. And now that I'm in my own place, I don't have the responsibility of making sure, you know, my brothers are good, my dad is good. The only responsibilities I have are me and my kids. And that was kind of scary. I was kind of used to being a crutch. So, you know, when you're not holding nobody up, it's time for you to walk on your own. So I just want to encourage you guys. If I could write a book in an entire week, you can do anything and everything. You can do it. And all it took was for me to create a goal and a milestone. So I want to get into ways that you can really encourage yourself to keep going. One, give yourself a short-term goal. Mine was writing this book in a week. Now, a lot of people would say, whoa, that's not a lot of time. But just remember, this is a quick reference tool. This book is just used for you to go back and reference. It really isn't a whole memoir of my life, and that's okay. I am going to dedicate that to the next year to make sure that I publish a full-on book. But for right now, let's see. One, hold yourself accountable. Create this goal and hold yourself accountable. Follow through. Stay consistent. Now, there was times during the week where obviously people were coming over or people were asking me, hey, let's go do this. I had to say, nah, not today. I got something to do. I'm focused. And even when people came over, I'm at that table. Can you turn her down? Turn the TV off? I was on it because I was absolutely dedicated to creating this, or fulfilling this desire that I've always had in my heart. 2, I wanted to build my confidence. 3, trust myself enough to do it and execute. It was extremely important that I allowed myself this opportunity. I think it helped me really understand the value in speaking life. So ultimately, I want to let you know that the goal is to really hone in and focus on yourself. A lot of times, I even remember growing up, people would really look at individuals who were focused on themselves as conceited, selfish. And I don't agree with that. I feel as though when we become a certain age, especially once you have kids, it is your absolute responsibility to make sure that you yourself are in a good state, that you're happy. That way you can pour into other people, right? Especially your children. I'm a person that is surrounded by many people, which I'm grateful for. I think the people who choose to spend time with me, the people who choose to call me a friend, I think that they call me that because I am a trusting person that is absolutely loyal to them. No matter what, I'm always going to encourage them to be their best version of themselves. And like I said in the beginning, I wasn't able to do that for myself. And I have great friends who will speak life into me. But because I was such in a muck inside internally, I wasn't able to receive their praise. I wasn't able to receive their encouragement. So it had to start with me. It had to. Otherwise, their words were just words and so were mine. So each day when I sat there and I wrote out a topic, I mainly focused on the things that I was actually feeling in that moment and what did I need to say to myself to get myself out of it and keep going. I felt like Rocky. It's almost like a athlete. They get up, they have a meal plan, they go to the gym, they go work out. They stay consistent. They work on their craft. They build the muscles that they need so they can be strong. And I took that concept and said, okay, I'm not an athlete, but I am an aspiring entrepreneur. I already have one business going that we're already doing our thing there, but now I need to build something for myself. So what muscles do I need to, build on so that I can build up this momentum to continue to be great in my future endeavors? I want to continue to build and move up this ladder, and continue to build a legacy for my kids. And the first muscle was making sure that I love myself enough to believe I can. And it's so funny how love is such a natural emotion that I think the world has put so much on it to where sometimes people don't even realize it's almost as if you have to earn it. But love is natural. It is something that we should already be displaying on a daily basis. But because of our environment and our surroundings, it's so much envy and negativity going around that you don't focus on the things that really should be normalized. Like loving yourself. That shit should be fucking normal. And it shouldn't be looked at as, oh, she's conceited or, oh, she's selfish. It's, damn, I want to love myself like that. And I hope that my book inspires people in a way to where they feel the love coming through those pages and they are inspired enough to go out and do what's best for them. And in those moments where you're discouraged or, things happen in life that may take you down, I definitely encourage yourself to push through, find a way, trip your mind out, trick yourself if that's what you need to do. I needed that. I knew that buying myself candy or some hot Ruffles, that was going to satisfy me in the moment. But I had to find a way that was going to keep me moving forward, because them hot Cheetos and chocolate is going to keep me sitting on that couch. Okay? I needed a push. And I didn't need someone behind me pushing me. I needed a push mentally so I can physically walk my ass into greatness, because that's where I'm going. And I believe that. So I launched my book. On Friday, it went to the publisher, and I want you guys to know, I actually use lulu.com. I've never used lulu.com before, but it is a cool little website where you can actually publish your own books. They give you an ISBN, and you can market it globally. Now, what I did find out is when you do try to market something globally in, these large stores online, there are a lot of rules. So my book hasn't been accepted for all distribution, so I'm still waiting for that. But I was able to still publish it myself and distribute individually. So that was approved. I sent it out to the printer and I ordered 30 copies. That alone was, I didn't know where the number came from. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do 30 copies first. I'll sign and personalize them and we'll see where it goes. The outpour of love I received, it made me extremely anxious. I was just like, oh my God. But what it really did was when people see that you're putting in the work, when people see the change, it's encouraging, it's inspiring, and people are inspired by my actions. And I don't want to lose that momentum. I want to continue to inspire you. I want to continue to motivate you, but I also want to do it for myself, most importantly. And now that I see that I'm actually making an impact, my greatest goal is to always make sure that I'm responsible with that impact. I don't ever want to inspire someone in the wrong way or give a negative impact. I think it's extremely important that when we go online and we post these things, that we are mindful of the audience that we have. And I think that's extremely important. So this book of encouragement definitely represents me as a person and something I'm proud of. And I hope that it continues to impact generations and beyond. I think it's something that will withstand time. It's something that you can never get enough of. We all go through discouraging moments. We all have moments in our life where we feel down, and I needed a pick-me-up. And I think this book will give anyone who touches it and reads it just that. So I think that's all I have today, but I just want to leave on this note. It's Carter's birthday, so I do have to go and spoil him today and show him some love and also create another goal for myself, okay? Because now that I done put this out, my mind is like, well, what else can you do, Denise? And I'm like, all things. And I'm going to show you. But today, I am taking the time to be a mother and love on my son, have some family and friends coming over. I want to share my accomplishments and encourage my friends and family and love on them. So I'm excited to see them. But I want to close out this podcast by saying love is something that starts within. You can't seek it from someone else. You really can't. It has to be, you have to be the sole provider of love for yourself. And I promise you, when you start loving on yourself, your skin clears up. My gray hairs are all up in here, but I love them. I've learned to embrace them. I smile more. I'm happy. God is just really using me to expose some of those ugly truths. And I'm willing to expose all of my ugly truths if it touches someone enough to let them understand that you don't have to stay in that. You don't. It could be better as long as you just believe in yourself. Just an inkling, that mustard seed of faith I had, and I built on that. I praise God every day to make sure my mustard seed is cultivating. It's still popping because I need that love and, that light in my heart. And my faith, I'm bound by my faith. Can't no one take that. My relationship is solid, but it's mine. However I choose to have that relationship. And God is just continuing to open up doors. So I know in this space, it would be a space of clarity and peace, but also an opportunity for me to use that space I'm in to impact the world. I really feel like God brought me to this space of no clutter. It's decluttered. My mind is clear. My heart is pure. and I'm able to write words to touch others, their hearts, their minds. And I wasn't able to do that in the space before. So it feels absolutely amazing to be able to be in this place. And I know God is going to continue to push me to continue to create a community and be that person of hope. I will. And you can count on me because I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep building on this, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. So with that being said, you guys, I got a few things launching this week. Well, obviously the book is out. I'm also going to be doing a book release for the 30 people who purchased the book. I am going to do a private party. I think it's going to be probably Zoom, but I'm going to send packages out to the people who will be joining the party, and we're going to talk more about the book. But I also want to hear back from you guys. What is it that, you feel like something that maybe you need to work on? You might need some help. You might need a little toot big beat. You might need someone to encourage you, someone to speak a little life into you and figure out ways how you can do that for yourself. Me, I can help you with that. So we're going to have a full-on conversation about, ways that we can continue to love on ourselves, learn to trust ourselves, believe in ourselves. It's not easy. It's not. There's days that I get up and I'm just like, fuck. Ugh, man. Or there might be a day where someone might have said something to me and it hit me. It hit me. Or, I saw something. I'm like, I am human. I want to say that. I am human. But most important thing is that I know myself well enough to know that when I am in that state of mind, I know that it takes some building, some love, some tender care. And I understand that that's going to have to come from me. I have to do that work. So this week, I encourage you guys, one, reach out. If you feel like you're unable to do it, reach out. Hit me up. Hit me up in my DM, send me a comment, whatever it is. I am reachable. Also, find ways to journal. Write it out on a journal and come back to it in a few days. And then see how you feel. If you still feel the same, try a song, music. Find songs that inspire you, encourage you. Find a podcast, a blog. Find other things that can maybe push you a little bit to where you can kind of build on that. I'm not saying we don't need people. What I'm saying is you have to still be able to do the work yourself. Y'all feel me? I hope so. All right, y'all. Until next week. I love you guys. Stay positive, stay encouraged, and no matter what, keep going. Peace.